Yeah, back in about 2015, a good friend of mine from California, old Frank, came out, picked me up in Iowa, and we are going to go to Oshkosh. Frank and I had been friends for many years out there. I was living out there 10 or 15 years. We became friends restoring old Corvettes and doing a lot of things together and running the Cannonball Run and all that. But anyhow, this was around 2015, somewhere in that period of time, we drove up to Wisconsin to Oshkosh. Of course, he had the money and he paid for everything, which was nice of him. He was really that close a friend. He was almost like a brother. So we went up, we were touring all the sites, enjoying World War II, all the warbirds. And that time they were honoring all the veterans, and we got a chance to get free hats and all that, signifying we were veterans. I was Navy and he was Marine, so we went around talking to all the different people, and there was a lot of, I enjoyed it because my dad was so much in the Air Force, and I knew so much about the 50 era and the World War II era from him. We were on an outside area. I think it was used to be a Confederate Air Force. They call it Commemorative Air Force, but they had a special area over there where they were celebrating the Tuskegee Airmen. Well, I was wearing my 4th Fighter Group, my dad's, he was in the 4th in England, and I was wearing the hat because we go to the reunions. I'm still a member of the 4th Fighter Group Association, so I had the hat on, and I was walking over there, and there's a black gentleman that was signing under this tent. He had a desk signing autographs. And I walked up, and I was behind a crowd of people, and he saw me. I guess he saw the hat, and he jumped up. And the people all stepped back. They didn't know what he was doing, and he reached a hand out, and I went to shake it. We shook hands, and then he ran around the corner, around the desk, and came out there and hugged me and said, "Fourth," and I said, "Yeah, my dad." And so I told him it was my dad, and he says, "No kidding." He says, "Boy, I had a lot of friends in the 4th." He said, "After the war, we had like a Top Gun shootout once, and I couldn't remember the base he mentioned, but he said they did like a Top Gun shootout, so you're the best shooters. Target practices were in aircraft, and 4th, of course, won it, but it was still a friendly deal. It was and he had a lot of respect for the 4th and their pilots." And I said, "Well, at that time, my dad was still in Germany. If it was in 46 or 7, because he was still over there in the occupation of it. And so he wasn't with the 4th at that time. He was with a different squadron." And said, "Yeah, but I know that name, Colonel Bond." I said, "Yeah, he was a lieutenant colonel also." And told him he was a squadron commander up at Kenchlow at one time, and told him about the flyover medals. That's where I know him from. He knew him from the flyovers because he went up to President, I think it was Bush Sr., had my dad and some pilots that did the flyovers over Russia up there for a special award. It was a commemorative award of the flyover medal. And I think Colonel Stewart was in the military at that time, because that was in the early 70s when that happened, I guess. Anyhow, that was just interesting that he did that. It made me feel good, and he seemed like a nice man. We traded phone numbers, and I told him that if he wanted to come to the 4th, he's more than welcome, because we were going to have a reunion pretty soon again down at what was it, at the air base in Dayton, and he's at Wright-Patterson. That's where it was. And he was more than welcome. And we'd call him and let him know when it was, and he gave me his number, and we shook hands, and that was a great honor to meet them. And it's just another interesting story in life.